Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to build this kind of form, this login form using HTML and CSS, and we're going to implement the hide and show password using JavaScript. As you can see, you can either hide or show the password, so I can just type in anything, and if I want to check what I typed in, I will click on this icon. You can see it now. I can be able to view. Alright guys, let's get started. Okay, so here I have a project. I have it right here in my desktop. So it's just a folder I created, and inside the folder I have a file index.html, and I created another folder that I call assets, and inside the assets folder I created CSS, img, and JavaScript, that's for image. And then inside the CSS folder I have my start.css. Alright, and inside my img I have this image, which is the background image you're seeing right here. Okay, and then inside the JS folder I have a script.js file. Okay, so this is the file structure of this project. So here in my HTML I am using I've linked my CSS and then JavaScript. So if you don't know how to link this, I have a video you can check out my channel on how to link your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Alright, and then here we'll be using font awesome because of this font awesome, these fonts, and this one right here, these two fonts. So you can go to here, you can go to cdn.js.com. You can see the address right here, so you can enter this into your computer and copy this, alright, and link it right here in the header. That's what I did. Okay, and then what else do I have here? Okay, I'll link my CSS. So here I have a container. After the body tag I have a container, so you can see the container here, and inside the container I have an overlay. Alright, if you look at this, you will see this there's an overlay on the image. There's an overlay. Okay, so that is what we'll be using that for. And here we have the form, and inside the form we have the email input tag, and the next we have the password container, and inside the password container we have the password input, and also this is for the font. Okay, this is for the font icon, the icon. Alright, so this icon you can go to fontawesome.com, and you go to this search bar and type eyes. Okay, so here we're going to be using this font and this font. Okay, we're going to be using these two fonts. So you click on the font, come down, you can see HTML right here, so copy the one for HTML. Since we're not using HTML, we're not using React, and we're not using Vue or SVG, so copy that of the HTML. Okay, so that's what I simply did right here. And then here I have my submit button, okay, which is a login. And here I have a login right here. So I'm gonna go live because I want, whenever I save this file, I want the browser to automatically refresh. So I'm gonna go to go live, and you can see it started. So right here, this is what we have. This is what our project looks like. So I'm going to have something like a double screen. Yeah. Okay, so if you look at what we have here, this is what it looks like. So we have an icon here, but in our own project, let me move closer, we don't have any icon right here. So I'm going to go to font awesome, and so I'm going to go to font awesome, and I'm going to type login. Alright, and then so here you see we have this, and make sure you click on the free so you can get those ones that are free. So here we have these two icons, and let's use this. Come over here, click on this, and we'll go back to our project, and we're gonna paste it right here. So here, let's go to, and when I save this, my browser will refresh. So you see we have it right here. So looking at the form and looking at what we're trying to build, you can see they look familiar. They look, they are pretty much the same. So what we're going to do next is to start styling this. Where's the form? Let me change this to. Okay, so we go straight to the CSS. So this is my CSS right here. So in my CSS, I'm going to first start the body. All right, so I'm going to select the body, and for the body, I want overflow to be hidden, so I don't want the body to show anything. All right, and here I'm going to start the container. Right here, you can see this container. Where is it? This container right here. That's what I'm going to start next. So I will simply say container, and for the container, I'm going to have a width. I want about 100 viewport width, and then for the height, I'm also going to have 100 viewport height. Okay, because I just want it to sit on the screen. This is just a login form, so we are not scrolling to anywhere. All right. And what else? I want the position to be relative, because I will be positioning the child elements, so I want it to be relative. And then the last thing I'm going to do is to add the background image. All right, so here I will say background image. All right, then I have to specify the URL, and for the URL, since it's coming from the roots, we've got to do this, and then select assets, and it is inside the assets folder here, right inside the assets folder, and then you select this folder img. So select img, and we now select the name. I have to type the name of the image. That's background img.jpg. all right, save it. Oh, I made a mistake here. It's supposed to be URL. So you see the image comes right up. Okay, so this is how you add background image, all right. So you can see what we have here. It doesn't look like what we have over here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to style is the overlay. Like I told you, here you can see we have this black something background that surrounds this. It doesn't allow the image to shine like it is right here. So that's what we're going to start next. So I'm gonna start the overlay. So overlay is inside the container, so I just want to select the container and overlay. And for the overlay, I want the height to be inherent. I want it to inherit this height. I want the height of this overlay to be the height of its container. All right, this is the parent container, so I want it to have the same thing here. So I'm just going to use inherit, so that it will inherit the height and also inherit the width of the parent element. Okay, so having done that, okay, you can see what we have right here. You see how it looks like. The form comes over here because of the overlay. The overlay is right here. So the reason why this happens is because the overlay now takes the height and the width of this container, of the parent container, and it has to push this down. Okay, so don't worry, we're going to use positioning to place it where it's supposed to be. So the next thing we're going to I would want to do here is to add for the overlay, I'm going to add position. So I want a position to be absolute, and also I want to add a background image. A background color. So I'm going to add background, and for the background I'm going to use RGBA, that's red, green, blue, and alpha, which is opacity. So I'm going to say 0, 0, 0. This is black. Alright, this will give me black. So if I save this, you're not really going to see anything, but let me add some opacity to it. Let me add opacity of 0.7. let's save it. Okay, you see how it gets dark. You can see the opacity. Let's make it 0.8. all right, save it so it becomes dark. I think 0.7 is okay. Yeah, 0.7 is good. All right, so you see what we have right here. Then I think that's all I'm gonna start for the overlay. So I'm gonna move straight to the form. I have to start the form itself, which is what we have here, the login form here. Where is it? Yeah, the login form. So let's go straight to the form and select login form. All right, for the login form, I'm gonna display it to be login form. I'm gonna display it to be inline block. Gonna be inline block, and inline block. I'm gonna have the width. Let me just put width of 400 pixels for the width, and padding. Let's add padding around it, 200 pixels. And what else? Let's add background color. Background color to be white smoke. Okay, that'll be white smoke. And let's add position. It's gonna be, the position is gonna be absolute. Okay, it's gonna be absolute positioning. Okay, now I would want this form to sit at the center. That is centering. You can see where it is, to sit at the center. So what we did here, remember the parent element, here, the container, is having the position to be relative. Yeah, this you have to make sure that the parent element has the position to relative, and for the child element, it should have position of absolute. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to position this element to the center. So we're going to use top. We want the top to be 50% to the top. All right, we save it. You see where it's sitting, and then to the left, also left, we want it to be 50 pixels also. So you see where it's sitting. So this is not really sitting at the center. The center is somewhere here. So what we're going to do is we're going to transform this. All right, so we're going to say transform, and we're going to translate it. So we're going to translate to minus 50% and minus 50%. All right, then we save it. So you can see it's sitting at the center now. Okay, so that's gonna be all for the form. So the next thing we are going to style is this login here. So we're gonna say login form h2. Yeah, that's h2. So we're gonna give it a text align, because we want it to be center. So we're gonna give a text align of center. Okay, we save it. You see the same text is sitting right to the center. And let's give it a background color, not background color, sorry. We're gonna give a color of green. Save it. So you see it's right, just like what we have right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to style is the input. I'm going to start this input right here. Okay, so I'm gonna say login form input. Okay, all the inputs, that's what I'm selecting. So the first thing I'm going to select for the input, I want their width to be 100%. You know, I've saved it. You can see they have 100% width. I want the height to be, let's give them a height of about let's say height of about 30 pixels, 30 pixels. Save it. You see the height, and I would want margin 20 pixels. That's 20 pixels top and bottom, and 0 left and right. So you see we have that margin right there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I don't want any border is going to be none, and outline, I don't want any outline, so outline is going to be none. So outline is going to be none. And what next do I need to do here? Okay, I have to remove this background. You can see this background, I have to remove it. So I'm going to say background is going to be transparent. Save it. You see it doesn't have any background again. So the last thing I'm going to do here is to add a border button, just like we have right here, this green line that looks like a line. So I'm going to say border button. I'm going to add 1px solid green. Save it. So you see what we have is almost like what we have right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to style is these placeholders. Look at this. There are these placeholders. I want them to be a little bigger. So I'm going to select the placeholders. I'm going to select, say, login form input dot placeholder. So for the placeholder, I would want the font size. Just want to increase the font size. That's all. I would want the font size to be about 16 pixels. I'll save it. You see they get bigger. That's all I want to do with that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to style is when we look at these for the button here, it has a class of flex. Okay, I just want to start that flex and also start this button. All right, so I'm going to start that. So I will say class of deflex. So it's going to display flex. All right, and I will want to align the content. Oh, sorry, that's align content to recenter. I will want to also justify content, justify items. Oh wait, I think that's a mistake. Justify items to the center. Save it. Okay, why align items? That's a mistake. This should be align items and then justify content. Sorry, that was a mistake. Justify content. So you can see it's sitting at the right at the center, right at the center. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to look at is this. I'll come back to the form here, to this login. Excuse me, to this login button. So, but I wanna make sure that this sits right here. So, like when we go over here, you see where it is sitting. Okay. So I'm going to start this container. That's the reason why I have to use container right here. This password container. Okay. So I'll go straight to that password container. So I'm going to say password container. So password container, this is a parent element. Okay, so I want a position. That's all I want for that. Position to relative. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do with that, and I will proceed with the toggle password. Okay, that is this icon right here. This icon. Let's go to the to our HTML and see what. So you see we have it right here, and this is toggle class. So let's go back here and put toggle class, and we're going to style that. So for the toggle class, the position is going to be absolute because we want to position it right here, so it's going to have absolute positioning. We'll save it. Now this is going to happen, and I want the top to be about 45. Okay, let's say 50%, so that it's at the middle. 50%. Sorry, that was a mistake. That should be toggle password. Save it right there, so you see where it's sitting. Yeah, about 50%. So, but that's not good. I mean, this is not where it's supposed to sit. It's not sitting where it should be. It should be a little higher than that. So I'm going to reduce this to about 45%. 45%. Okay, it's a little better. Let's use 40% and see. 40. Let's use 30. 35. Let's see if 35 is okay. Save it. Okay, I think it's a little better. So we have and then we're gonna move it to the right. Okay, so we're gonna say right is gonna be 0 pixels, or you can just use 0. So you see it sits right here. Okay, so I want to change this cursor. I want it to be pointer. I would just want the cursor to be pointer whenever I hover over it. So I'm gonna call footer to be pointer. Save it, so you can see it's now pointer. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to start is this. You can see everything looks like what we have right here, except this. I think we have to reduce this. Where is the overlay? Let's just make it 0.8. Yeah, I think it's better. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to style is the btn submit. You can see btn submit right here. So I'll go to my CSS, and so I'm gonna click here and say btn submit. Alright, I'll save it. So now that I saved, I want to add padding to it. So for the padding, I want text 10px top and bottom, and I want 15px left and right. Save it. See, it's get bigger. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I want to text a bit to the center, so text the line to the center. Alright, and then I want to add margin. So for the margin, we're gonna have 10px top and bottom, and then we're gonna have 0 left and right. And we're gonna change the color. We want the color to be white, and then we're gonna change the background is gonna be green. Save it and see what we have. So we have this border around it. I don't want it. I want to remove that border. Alright, so I'm gonna say border is gonna be none. Save it. And the next thing I'm going to do, I want to add a border radius right here. So I'm going to say border radius about 10 pixels. Save it. Yeah, you see right there. But then 10 pixels. Okay, we can use 5 pixels. 5 pixels. Save it right there. And then when I hover over it, I want it to change just like what we have right here. So I'm gonna say cursor is going to be pointer, save it. But there's a problem with this. I don't know, this comes over here to sit and it's not good. I have to check that. I want to increase the font. Well, the font we have here, like I said, font size, let's just use about 20 pixels and see what we got right there. Save it. Oh yeah, that's so good. So we have to fix this problem. There's a problem now here. This is not sitting where it's supposed to sit. So let's go back to the toggle, which is what we have here. We're going to increase this to about 45. Let's increase to 45. Oh, that's much more. Let's reduce it. But there's something I want to do. I want to add a border 1 pixel red. Save this. Yeah, so I just wanted to see what this looks like. So here there's a mistake. That's the reason why. The password container is inside. This button is inside the password container, and it should not. So let's go back to our HTML here and fix that. So you see the div is right here. So we're going to move the closing tag right over here. So this is where it should be. All right, it should be here. We save it. Okay, we save it right here and save. Okay, so let's go back to our CSS and then fix this. So in our CSS here, for the toggler we have top to be let's 50%. all right, so you see where it's sitting. So I'm going to get rid of this because I just wanted to see something. Okay, I just wanted to go a little up, so let's use about 45 and see what we have. Save it. Yeah, I think that's good. I think 45 is really good. So it's really cool right here. Okay, so I think we have everything that we need. Let me make it bold. So you can see, looking at these two forms, they look identical. There's no difference between the two, but this is where we are working on, not here. It is where we're working on. So we are done with the CSS and we're moving over to the JavaScript now. So guys, now moving over to the JavaScript. So I will go to and open my JavaScript. Now I'm gonna teach you a principle that we're gonna be the concept here. Now look at this password input. Okay, look at this password input. So the type of password here is password. The type here is password. So when we go to the browser and type anything, it's hidden. But if we change this to text, let's change it to text and save it. We go back to our browser, and then whenever we type in anything, you see it's visible. So what we are simply going to do is we will be changing the type of this. So when we click on this button here, or when we click on this this icon, we want to change this from text to password and from password back to text. Okay, so here I'm going to leave it in password form. So we're going to go back to our JavaScript. So the first thing we're going to do is to select we're going to select this. All right, where is the toggler? So we're going to select this ID right here. Okay, this ID. So we're going to select it, go to our JavaScript. So I'm going to say var password toggler password, and it's going to be document dot get element by ID, and we have to pass the ID. All right, so this is it. And the next thing I'm going to do is to attach an event listener. I'm going to attach a click event listener. Okay, so I'm going to select that toggler toggle password dot add event listener, and I want it to listen for a click because we're going to be clicking on it. So whenever we click on it, I want it to run a function. All right, it's going to run a function. So for the function, we are going to select excuse me. So for the function, we are going to select the password, this password input. All right, this password input, we're going to select it. All right, and it has an ID of password right here, password. So we're going to copy this ID. All right, then we'll go over to our JavaScript. So we're going to say, we're going to declare a variable called let's call it password input, because that's the password input. Let's call it password input, and we're going to say password input will be a document that get element by id, since it's an id, and we're gonna pass the id right here. Okay, so what we're saying is whenever we click on this, we're gonna check. All right, we're simply gonna check. So we're gonna check if the password is, so when we click on this, the first thing we are going to do, we're going to have if statement right here, if, and also we're going to say else, something else, you know, that I will do this, I will do something. So in these, what we are going to check is we want to know if let me go, I think here is where I can get this. So we want to check if this input has the type of password or it has the type of text. So if it has a password, and when you click on this button, it's going to change it to text, and when you click on the button again, it's going to change to password. And also we're going to be changing this. All right, so that's the concept. So let's go back here. So the first, we're going to check if the password input, which what we have here, oh sorry, I made a mistake, this should be password input. So we're going to check if password input, if the type that we have there, if the type of password input, if it is equal to password. All right, that's what we're checking for. We're checking if it is equal to password. So if it is equal to password, then we're going to change it to text. So how do we change it to text? We're going to say password input, and we'll call the type, and we will say it's equal to text. We want to change it to text. All right, this is where we change to text. Okay, and having changed it to text, I think we should be able to test it out now and see if it works, if there's any changes now. So let's type in something and click on it. Okay, maybe it's not, because it's not complete. Okay, let's just complete everything and before we get started. Okay, so here we are going to we're going to change, once we click on the password input and change it from password to text, we would also want to change the icon. Just like here we have the icon also changes. You can see right here the icon also changes. The icon here changes. Okay, so we are going to change the icon also. So we're going to select the this toggle password right here. So we're going to use the this keyword. We're going to say this the inner HTML. The inner HTML is going to be equal to something. So we're going to go to font icon, and the icon we're going to get is this particular icon now. So we're going to go back to the icon, font awesome, and we're going to type eyes. Okay, so we want this particular, or let's use this, or this, anyone. So let's use this, and we copy it right here, go back to our JavaScript and paste it here, and then we'll save it. Okay, so we want, if the password, the type of input is password, we want to change it to text, and also want to change the icon. Okay, else if it is not, we want the password input dot type. The type is going to be equal to password. All right, it's going to be equal to password, and we're also going to change the icon. So we're going to say this that inner HTML is equal to. So we're simply going to copy the icon we have here. This icon, we're going to copy this one, come over to our script and place it right here. So we save this. I think we should be good to go. Yeah, we should be good to go. Okay, so let's test it out and see if what we did is working or not. So I'm gonna type in something, click on it, it's not working. Let me inspect this and know why. Okay, let me inspect this and know why it's not. Okay guys, yeah, I think this is the problem. So here I misspelled the password. All right, save it, and what else? Okay, here, yeah, so here is supposed to be an assignment and not a quality, so we're gonna be to assign. So we save this and go back to our browser. So I'm gonna type in some password I'm going to check on this, so you see it's working. So here it's working. Alright guys, that's gonna be all for this tutorial. The video is already long, so please subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post more videos. Like and share this video. So thank you very much for watching, and God bless you.